What is up, YouTube? Welcome into the channel. We finally have a camera. We are live, baby. And today we're talking about some NBA bets. And I first want to give a big shout out to my boy Sports Side Jacob, who really locked me in on these picks last night. And then I did the research behind them, and boy, it looks like a doozy and a good day to bet straight props today. I like the games, I like the slate. We swept on all player props yesterday. NFL, NBA. The only thing that didn't hit was the spreads or the money lines. But guess what? It's all good because today is another day to try to get a W. So with that being said, I'm going to get right into these picks today. Comment down below what you like today. If you like this content, like it, subscribe to this channel, share this with a friend. I know I'm looking like your favorite auntie right now, but guess what? I'm gonna give you Unc's picks today, okay? Alright, let's get right into it. Alright, first we're gonna start with the first game that I like on this slate, which would be the Boston Celtics versus the Washington Wizards. And the reason why I like it, even though I know it has potential for a blowout, is for a bench player that usually has got a lot of burn against his team, and also just in general this year has just been pretty much lights out whenever he does get the time to score. And this is this boy Peyton Pritchard, which right now they have him at 13.5. They did have him at 12.5 earlier this season, which if we see this season in total, he's hit this 11 out of 15 times, which is very impressive to see this man coming off the bench and produce how he's been producing all year. He's averaging about 15 points per game this year, taking about 10 shots a game. That's pretty incredible to see this, turn up of Peyton Pritchard this year. In 2023, he barely hit this line, but this year it seems like this is Peyton Pritchard's breakout season as a bench player, and my boy is proving it. And what we're doing today is we're not going to take 12.5 that they have on Hard Rock. They bumped it up, so it's all the way at 13.5 now. So what we're going to do is take the 9.5 and take him just to get 10 points today, especially in this matchup head-to-head. He's hit this in 4 of the 5 times they've played. Peyton Pritchard against this Washington Wizards team, I don't expect it to be a close game. Last time they played, it was close in the first half. Second half, they just blew them out the water. So my opinion on today's game for this Boston Celtics game is the Boston Celtics on the money line. We're not going to play any money lines today, though, so we're going straight player props. And I like Peyton Pritchard over 10 points today. I think he clears this easily. He might even clear this in the first half. Definitely will get it in the second half, especially in garbage time. They'll definitely put him in there, and he will score some buckets. And we'll see that Washington is ranked 18th and giving up points allowed to the point guard position, and that's both the starting point guard and the backup point guard. So we like those stats, and overall they're one of the worst, if not the worst defense in the league, right there with the Utah Jazz. So I just see this as a good spot for Peyton Pritchard, especially if the Celtics start off hot and start killing them early. You'll see Peyton Pritchard get a lot of playing time, and you see in the last 4 he has hit this each time. In the last 10, 7 out of 10. The only time he hasn't hit that is when it's closer games. He's not getting a lot of burn because Derek White's out there doing his thing. It's a lot of, those situations where they're not really using him because they're using their starters more than anything. But if we see this season, he has been utilized in these situations where it's blowouts. And even in some close games, he has been utilized as a key component of this offense. So I like Peyton Pritchard to get over 10 points today, especially off that bench roll against this Wizards team that's just been horrible on defense. He's definitely a shoot-first guard. He doesn't really pass that much. As you can see, his lines for assists, he's only went over 4 assists 4 times this season, which is crazy to be a point guard that doesn't pass. But honestly, I love it. I love Peyton Pritchard today over 9.5 points. And this is a play that Jacob gave me, the over 12.5. But I bumped it a little bit down just to give us a little leeway, just in case Peyton Pritchard, maybe plays a little bit less minutes. I don't expect him to play less minutes. I think that he's going to get a good amount of minutes today because it might be a blowout potentially. And the next pick that I like for today's slate is 3 picks within this Atlanta and Chicago game. And the reason why I like 3 picks for this game is because if you see the pace of play for both of these teams, they play at a very high pace. And if you see the line of where it's at when it comes to the points today, it's very high. So I like it today because it looks like it's going to be a high-scoring game. And they've honestly bumped these lines since I've gotten them, which is pretty crazy to me. But they have Trae Young at 12.5 right now. I got to get him at 10.5 for minus 150, I believe. Now it's all the way bumped to minus 240. And the reason why it's bumped so high for this high line is because head to head, he definitely clears this most of the time. 13, 14, 10, and 16 against this Chicago Bulls team. Even blowouts, whichever type of game we see today, we will see Trae Young pass the ball. And in 2024, he has been lights out as a point guard, actually dishing the ball more than scoring. So we like that with Trae Young this year. If you want to take it all the way down to 9.5 or 8.5, you can. It's a little bit more juice, especially when you get to the point where you take the 8.5, it's at minus 550. But this is definitely something that will hit against this team, especially with, let's see how they're giving up 11.2 assists to the point guard position this year. It looks like a great play. This is another play given by Jacob. All these plays were given by Sportside Jacob. Go follow him. Check out his YouTube channel. We're going to be making content together. He is a great NBA capper and just overall sports bettor. He is awesome at this. And I like Trae Young over 8.5 assists or 9.5, or if you can even take the 10.5 and get him at 11, I think he gets that, especially with them allowing basically the 11, the worst ranked when it comes to letting up, passing to the point guard position. So I like that a lot. And especially, these defenses both are bad. They're allowing 122 and 119 points per game, which is just very, very high. And honestly, it looks like a great pick for today. Assist to turnover ratio for the Atlanta Hawks is actually pretty tied 15th. It's actually middle of the pack in the league. So I like all the statistics behind this. So I like Trae Young over 10.5. You can even bump it all the way down to 8.5, but you will have to parlay all this together. If you want to take it straight, 10.5 should be a good play today, or the 9.5 or the 8.5 to parlay it. Definitely some plays that you could parlay it. And the next play that I like for this game is Jalen Johnson over 31.5. They bumped it all the way to 32.5, but I got it at 31.5 at a good line at minus 125. Now it's all the way juiced at minus 182. Let's just see head to head. It doesn't look too well, but let's just be honest. Last year, he wasn't as big of a role in this team as he is this year. This year, he is clearing this line out of 15 times. And against this team, if you can see the overall rank, they're allowing the most points allowed, rebounds allowed, and assists allowed in general. And to the power forward position, where it's Jalen Johnson's role, he's going to get the rebounds. He might even get the assist. And the points, they're allowing 27.1 points allowed to this position. And Jalen Johnson, how he's been playing this year, has been spectacular. You can't say anything less about how he's been playing this year. He's went over the 15-point line 12 out of 15 times. 2023, he only hit 32 out of 56. This year, he's hitting at a higher clip. Honestly, if you want, instead of taking the points, rebounds, assists at the 31.5, because now they have it bumped all the way to 32.5, you can also just take the points and take him at 15 points. As you see in his last 5, he has cleared the 14.5 each time, 20, 18, 18, 25, and 15. And he's done this against Boston. He did it against Chicago already. He's done it against Golden State, even in a blowout loss where the whole team wasn't playing well. He still got the 15 points, and we already showed that in 2024 he's had this line hit in the last 12 out of 15 games. And as you can see, his last 10, the last game that he wasn't really that much involved offensively, they lost, and also it was the last game he was this underproductive in the game in general. It looks like they're giving him more burn and giving him more shot attempts. It looks like Trae Young is looking for him because he knows that he is getting the job done right now. So I really like Jalen Johnson's over 14.5, especially with how the Chicago Bulls just have a horrible defense. So they will be giving up a lot of points. And if we're going to choose somebody to get the points, we're going to choose the person who's been consistent all year and who's been just lights out for this team, which has been Jalen Johnson. It's like a whole Josh Smith resurgence right now. I remember when Josh Smith was doing this, and then, wasn't betting back then because I was too young. Wish I could bet on Josh Smith back in that time because he was snapping in that time period when he was on the Hawks. So I like Jalen Johnson over 31.5, or you can take the 15 points. The 15 points will be 100% an easier play, in my opinion, just because he's been clearing this line pretty much easily all year. And also, like I said, the defense he's going against is very laughable. So he should be able to get that points easily. And then the next play I like is Zach LaVine over 8.5 rebounds and assists. Another play given to me by my great friend Jacob, man. He's lights out with this stuff. 2024, he's hit this 8 out of 13 times. He's hit this the last 2 times he's played. In the last 5, he's hit this 4 out of 5, and we like that pattern that he's being consistent with his rebounds and assists, especially with his points being fluctuating. I mean, recently he's been hitting these lines, 27, 25 in his last 2 games, so it seems like he's starting to get a rhythm back for Zach LaVine. But the rebounds and assists, I believe, is a better play for him, just because overall the Atlanta Hawks are giving up a lot of rebounds and assists to all over, and to the shooting guard position where he plays, they're giving up 7.3 and 6.2. But I still like it because Zach LaVine has been more consistent with this line. As in my opinion, this is 9.5. Why they bump it to me? They trying to play me. All right, there we go. 8 out of 13 times this year, which the only times he hasn't hit it was when he wasn't really passing against Houston in a blowout. And Brooklyn also, I'm pretty sure he was just scoring that game. Memphis, close game, but he was mostly scoring. Milwaukee, no passing because, it's just weird situations where he's just not passing the ball. But I like Zach LaVine, especially in 2023. He only hit this 11 out of 25, so he's already on track to clear and be better than he was last year, even though he only played a short amount of games. I like him to get his rebounds and assists today. And if you don't want to take that 8.5, you can take his 3.5 assists. He's only hit this 6 out of 13. The data doesn't look well, but the last time he played this Atlanta Hawks team, he had 7 assists, and that was this year. Last 20 games, he's went over this line 12 out of 20 times. Last 10, 6 out of 10. In the last 5, he's hit 4 out of 5 times. We like that pattern for him. I don't think he has a regression game. As you can see, it was a blowout loss against the Houston Rockets, the only time he didn't hit this line in the last 5. So in my opinion, Zach LaVine at 3.5 assists, or his rebounds and assist line all the way at 8.5. All good plays for today. I like it a lot. Let's get to the next play, which would be Giannis Antetokounmpo. Or actually, let's go to Joel Embiid first. I'll put this. This is an extra play I wanted to give out there. Also a play that Jacob brought to my attention that I was kind of staying away from Joel Embiid, but with just the data overall and how small the Nets are right now without Claxton, they're giving up 20.5 points to the center position, and Joel Embiid's probably the best center in the league behind Anthony Davis right now. Honestly, I mean, he hasn't been proven it this season yet, but MVP last year. We know he's going to turn it around. As we can see in 2024, last game he just finally turned it around, dropped 35 points. I like that a lot, meaning that he's back in rhythm. And this happened 2 days ago, so he had an off day, and now he's coming back to eat. And I think Joel Embiid's going to kill the boards today. He hit 32 points last time he played Brooklyn, and this was last year around this time exactly. He had 32 points. And last 10 games, I mean, he's only played 4 games this season, so we can't really go off of this data too much because he was just starting. He didn't really play a lot of minutes these games. And the game he played against Miami was just a bad game. And the game against Orlando also didn't play a lot of minutes. And the Knicks game, he really didn't play that much. So I like him to get 24.5 points over that, which is the 25-point mark. I think he clears that pretty much easily. He did this 40 out of 46 games last year easily. So I think Joel Embiid getting his 25 points today should be a good play. If you want to take it all the way at 20, that should clear. As you can see, 2023 he cleared this each time. He's cleared this 2 out of 4 times this year. So if you just want to take him at his 20 points, I think that's a good play as well. But I'm going to take the 24.5 so I can get a little bit less juice on it, and we can probably play it with a parlay, make it a little bit more sweeter. So Joel Embiid at 24.5. Now let's get to Giannis Antetokounmpo, which, boy, I love this matchup today against this team. They bumped him all the way to 32.5, and it's still minus 113, which is crazy. But the reason why is because the data shows that head-to-head against this team, he straight up murders them. He had 54 at this time last year against them, 37 and 64. That is nothing to scoff at, okay? It's the same team he's going against, the same roster, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, the same people are there. So I like Giannis today to get over 30 points or 24.5. Now that they took away the 31.5, I don't want to take, a little bit higher than that. I like to be a little bit more safe with those plays. The 29.5 has cleared 4 out of 5 times he's played this game. Played this team. And in this year, he's hit this 8 out of 14 times. He's been going off all season. He takes a lot of good high percentage shots. He's taking mid-range shots. He's getting to the basket. And let's just be honest, it's really hard to stop this man. So I like Giannis Antetokounmpo today to get his 24.5 or 30 points today. I wish the line was still at 31.5 because that's a good play to take as well. But as you can see, the Pacers are giving up the most, 25th ranked to the power forward position, where's Giannis at? They're giving up 25.8 points per game. And they haven't faced Giannis yet this year. So let's just be honest. They haven't faced the best power forward in the league, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And he is going to demolish this team, in my opinion. Just look at their defensive rating. 25th ranked in defensive stats, allowing 118 points per game. And the Bucks look like they're turning the corner and actually starting to play a little bit better. They're won the last 4 out of 5 games. So I like Giannis to get rolling today, especially his last game. He just dropped 41. It seems like when he gets on these little heaters, he starts really going in. So I like Giannis, especially against this bad defense and how high paced this game will probably be. I think he clears this line pretty much by the third or fourth, beginning of the fourth quarter, because Giannis is just a monster. Let's just be honest. 24.5 points should be easy play. If you want to take the 30, you can take the 30. A lot less juice than the 24.5. So I like either of those plays. And now let's get to the next play, which, if we can find him, is Damian Lillard. But today, we're doing something different. We're doing something way different that we haven't done on this channel, and that's taking an under. So the data shows that this man goes under 7.5, which is what they had him at on Hard Rock. I don't know if it's still at 7.5, his assist line, but this in general is just such a great play. Head to head, he's only went over 7.5 one time, and he barely went over it with just 8 assists. 2024, he's been under this line of 7.5 8 out of 12 times this season. He did hit it his last 2 games, but look who he's going against. Chicago, as we just seen. They're one of the worst defenses at stopping the point guard position. They're horrible at it. And then he did it against Houston, but that game is his comeback game after him being injured after concussion, so he was looking to pass more. I think this game he's going to be looking to score first and then pass second. I like Damian Lillard under his 7.5. If you can take him at 8.5, or they have whatever they have on your boards, take the under. But if they have him at something like 5.5, I would say stay away from it, because as you see 2024, he's gotten over 6 assists a game. So he's been consistently getting about 5 to 6 assists a game, even 7. So he's been literally hitting pretty good this year. But when it comes to the 7.5, I trust it more to go under than I trusted to go over. As you can see, last year he hit that at a 64% clip. He went under his assist line. 7.5 is a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to definitely take his under. And let's also just check the stats against defensive rating. They're actually allowing one of the lowest amount of assists allowed to the point guard position, which is pretty incredible how bad their defense is, but they're still stopping point guards from passing the ball and getting assists. So I like this stat. They usually only allow 8 assists a game, and Damian Lillard is not a pass first point guard. He's usually a shoot first point guard. So I like him to get under the 8 assist mark and just hit about 6, maybe 5 assists today. I don't think he gets over that line. And then next play of the day will have to be, 1 second, y'all. Let's scroll down. My boy Alperen Sengun. And we're taking his assist line right now. They have him at 4.5, which they have it at a plus 104 on some books. I mean, if you want to be very safe, you can take 3.5. It's still a good play, minus 185. That's nothing to scoff at. That's something you can parlay into something pretty nice. He had 8 and 6 the last 2 times he played this team. That's why I like the 4.5. He cleared that pretty much easily. He had 6 and then 8. And in 2024, he's cleared this 50% of the time. And in 2023, he cleared this 57% of the year. So Alperen Sengun, he does it all. He rebounds. He's assisting. He's scoring the ball. But against this team, he had 30. He had 19. Let's just say he decides to score a little more. I still like him to get his 6 assists just because of how productive he is and his assist opportunities. He has 13 potential assists a game. a head-to-head matchup. 9 potential assists a game. And that's just great stats right there. And to the center position, they're giving up 4.4 assists allowed per game, which is 29th ranked. And Alperen Sengun is a great passing center. I think he can get that job done. Also, another good play for him today, which I think it could be a good play, depending on how the game flow goes, is his triple-double today. Alperen Sengun does it all. Like I said, he rebounds well, he assists well, he scores well. And against this team head-to-head, he had 10 and 9. So it's right there at that mark where he could get a triple-double. So if he's going to get a triple-double, or anyone's going to get a triple-double today, I think it's this guy, especially, being a bigger man. He's going to be able to get the boards and be able to score on the inside. So I like Alperen Sengun. As you can see, the rebounding stats against centers, they're allowing 13.3 rebounds. They're allowing the most rebounds and assists to centers. So against one of the best rebounding and assist center, I think that he has very much of the capability of going to get this triple-double depending on the game flow. So if it's a blowout, he's probably going to get his 6 assists, 5-6 assists, and probably not even play the fourth quarter. But if it's a closer game, which I'm kind of expecting it to be a little bit closer than what people are thinking, Portland's been playing really well against the spread this year. I think they're like 9-3 against the spread. I wouldn't know per se. I would have to look at the stats. But Portland has been playing pretty good against the spread. So I like them to keep this game a little bit closer than what people expect, and for Alperen Sengun to have more opportunities to play and to get this triple-double and to get his assist line, rebounds, or whatever. I think that his points might be a little bit too high today. They have him at 19.5 on most books. I don't think he's going to get 20 points today. I think he's going to clear more 10 to 15 because he's going to have a lot of options to pass it to. His team overall in general has been playing great. So I like Alperen Sengun today to get a triple-double, or his assist line of 4.5. I think he clears that pretty much with the ease. If you want to be easy on yourself to make this parlay even easier, you can take the 3.5, but 4.5 assists, we'll rock with it today. And so what's the last play? I think that was the last play. Well, guys, there you go. That's the last play. And so those are all the plays today. That's 8 different players. And the Joel Embiid play is honestly something you can play separately. That's not something I'm putting together in this parlay that I've cooked up for today. But it's also a play that I did put in a different slip. But more than anything, I like the other plays that we have here. Giannis, Trae Young, Zach LaVine's assists and rebounds or assists, Jalen Johnson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Peyton Pritchard. I think all these guys show out today. I like all of their stats today. I like everything about these games just because it's an NBA Cup game. People play a little bit harder, except for the damn Hornets. Or maybe just the Hornets coach. He's just a dickhead. But one rant before I go, because I really got to let this off my chest. Minnesota Timberwolves. Why in the world did you trade Karl-Anthony Towns and keep Rudy Gobert? I really need an explanation of what was the reasoning and the thought process behind letting go your second star player, or first star for a while, and keeping not even, I think, the third or fourth star on your team. I think Jaden McDaniels is better as a key piece to this team. I think Naz Reid is a better piece to this team than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is the most overrated defender of all time. That's my opinion. If you don't agree, that's cool. I've seen this man give up so many points in the paint. It's not even funny. He makes no difference out there at all. 0%. The only thing he's good for is rebounding. And it's just disappointing to see that this team is on a downward turn, especially with a great player like Anthony Edwards. It seems like the Timberwolves organization can't get out of their own way ever. When they had Kevin Garnett, they traded him. They didn't get anything in return for him that was an equal value at all. They never did anything around that team to help Kevin Garnett, and now they're doing the same thing to Anthony Edwards, and I can't wait till he leaves that team and goes to a contender. I even would prefer him to play for the Atlanta Hawks because at least he's going to be losing on his home team. To be losing in Minnesota, and that, I don't want to disrespect that town or city because, I don't know the people from there. I've never been there. But let me tell you, I would prefer playing in the goddamn sun than be playing in a fucking tundra like Minnesota. And that's just my opinion. 100%. So you see what Karl-Anthony Towns is doing this season. He's on a revenge tour. He's back at home in the great city of New York, and they're doing their thing. We got babies crying, but that's my opinion, man. And so at the end of the day, I think that Karl Anthony Towns trade was one of the most egregious trades I've ever seen in my life. And hopefully, hopefully, Anthony Edwards leaves that team because god awful organization. They are brain dead with what they did. Just god awful. You can tell Dante DiVincenzo doesn't want to be there. You can just tell that there was just a bad trade overall. You know, Julius Randle is not a bad player, but he just doesn't fit this team well. He just is a scorer. He scores the ball. He doesn't play well on defense. He's not a great rebounder. He scores the ball. That's all he does. He's not known for anything else but scoring. He's not a distributor of the ball. He's not anything else but a scorer. And what they need right now is defense. They need defense. They need somebody in the fourth quarter that can lock up. And they're just a horrible fourth quarter team that can't defend a goddamn soul. So that's my opinion. That's my, little rant for the day. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you're trailing into these plays today, if you're taking them straight, if you parlaying it, what's your opinion on today's games? And we're gonna be creating a new channel, and me and Jacob are actually gonna be making a video this weekend, and I'm looking forward to it for NFL this Sunday, and for some NBA plays as well. College football tomorrow. If you want to join my Discord, I will actually link it again because now it's like that Discord that's linked there is not the correct one, so we'll fix that up for y'all. But until next time, I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. Everybody that checks out these videos, it means a lot to me. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, which will be tomorrow, and then the next one on Sunday. Until next time, peace.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.